Hello, and welcome to Diana's Makerspace on this September 26, 2025. One of my projects I did earlier this weekend is basically just doing making the Barbie soundcasting and in production lab. Let me show you what it looks like. Now, part of the sound production lab actually has some interesting ideas which I wish to incorporate and some ideas that I used in my old apartment. On the side there, you can see two replicas of a Ward's Airline two-channel reel-to-reel tape recorder that allows you to do stereo. And this is to say this allows you to do the Les Paul process and how you can make a four-track and two-track movie. I mean, a song by doing using a two-track reel-to-reel. He demonstrated this on his TV show in 1959. An interesting thing about this is Les Paul was my first music teacher when we lived in Wauwatosa, who he taught at Walker Music. He taught me how to play nylon string guitar and steel guitar. And later I learned how to play violin, cello, piano, and keyboards. Next is my own design of a new laptop computer I'm working on. Um, it has a 30-inch wide screen and by about 15 inches down, and then it has a keyboard that has, as you can see, a keyboard and two other screens, so that basically you can do three things at the same time. But each of them is going to be independent. So basically, if one system fails, the other one still keeps working. The next thing is a mixer. This is a mixing board so that coordinates with the studio, so that coordinates with the Ward's Airline, um, the, um, the laptop. But the other thing that's new is this is a replica that I made of a Moog Series 59 plug board synthesizer. And what happens, as you can see, it has a plug board. But what I did is I added a Yamaha keyboard to it, and that to give a better look on the keyboard. You can see a piano bench, and also an ottoman that you can use to play. And then there's a command. Then there's a chair for studio. Now, also in the studio, I made it so that basically you can do recording by the old studio method or basically individual method. And there's two chairs, basically a lounge chair and another chair. I'm going to add a Les Paul guitar tomorrow to this, and this will allow basically a complete setup. Moog keyboard, mixer, two Ward's Airline reel to reel, and that's what I also used it with my TI, and then the studio, which allows basically person playing the Moog can also coordinate with those performing in the studio section. And as you look at this, you can see this is all done. If this was full size, this would be basically a 15 by 11 floor plan. So 15 by 11 floor plan for this. So this is basically part of the Barbie house, part of my Barbie house design. And then this coordinates with the bathroom and boudoir that's on the second floor. The bedroom for Karen and Ping on the first floor. Also, I did today was basically add an elevator that will go up to the third story, and I'm thinking about adding a fourth story, but I'm going to stop at the third story right now for a little bit just to coordinate and still keep the scheme and design. And this is the bedroom for the Barbies, for Henry, Barbie, and Sandy. And there's Chipper guarding the house. And these are the Barbies: Mike, Lala, Barbie, and Sandy. Again, with the laptop, with my new computer design, which has the screen, the wide screen, a keyboard, and also basically the two other screens utilized in the sound studio, a chair ottoman, and also a Barbie TV, a TV as well, so to watch TV as well. And then moving on, this is the bedroom for Laura and Mike. And there's Frosty. I forgot to put Frosty to bed, so he's sleeping. There's Cookie. Um, and there's Jennifer and Doe. But as we look, I'm just going slowly. With the sound studio, this was an idea that I had from my old house. I had the words Airline, and also what happened, this goes back to, let me show you another thing here. This goes back to the idea of my dad's plug board. So I said, we just have to just doing a slow walk. So basically, to give a good image, but this is my dad's plug board. This actually goes to, runs on an IBM 403 computer that was popular about in the late 1950s and 60s, and this actually does unit record and job cost. And plug boards were very popular because Robert Moog developed the first synthesizer in 1964. And as we walk back, you can see Karen and Pingy, Stephanie, and Stephanie and Jill, like that though. So, but the thing is, what happens though is you see, this miniature plug board design was inspired by the Moog plug board Series 55 used in 1975. And it's interesting when I looked on internet. It's interesting. It's still active today, and even the words Airline is still active as well, like that though. It's amazing how much people like to use the air, how much they're worth and how much people like to use them, like that though. And this synthesizer, this mixing board, is based on a new design of a miniature mixing board. What I did with the Moog is I added a Yamaha keyboard, and then basically a setup so you could do the studio method recording where all the musicians perform together, or you could do track by track. And again, the two Airlines allow you to basically do how people used to do multi-track recording when it was developed from the late 1950s all the way up to the early 80s. And that though. Well, let me know what you think. The best way to reach me is on YouTube, Facebook, X, Blue Sky, and Pinterest. And this has been Diana's Makerspace for September 26th, introducing the new Barbie House Studio.